Hi, I'm Professor Amanda Siegrist, and I'm in charge of our undergraduate law program at Thomas More University. We have both a major and a minor, and we also have a really neat program called the 3+3 program. That's something I'll talk with you about a little bit further in this video, but I wanted to start by giving you a little bit about myself. I am a contract attorney by trade. I used to work for a local sports agency in Cincinnati doing contract law for professional athletes and Division I coaches, mainly in football and basketball. I left practicing law full-time for an opportunity to teach sport law at Coastal Carolina University, where I was for 5 years prior to coming to Thomas More. I've now been at Thomas More for a couple years, and I'm helping to grow our new program for law. What we're hoping to do with the law major is allow students an opportunity to consider the idea of law school, and if so, help prepare them. But if they were to decide not to go to law school, or even initially start off thinking law school wasn't for them, it's still a major that gives people a good understanding of policy, the Constitution, government structures, risk management, all things that are valuable to a lot of fields. The law touches almost any industry, so this minor pairs nicely with just about any major. If you're going into nursing or education, business, all things that you will at some point in time be dealing with liabilities, contracts. So this major and minor help provide you with just some of the base knowledge to help you understand those things. So I think a big part of why the students love this major is because it's a lot of content that you haven't really seen before. It's not something that you largely get exposed to in other classes. So it's really fun to learn the law. We say all the time it's like learning another language. So it's a really unique skill set that not everybody has. And so I think it could really set you apart out there in the working industry if you do have an understanding of law and policy. So as such, it's very interdisciplinary in nature. Our major is actually housed in the Institute for Interdisciplinary Studies, which is a really nice fit because, as I mentioned, it pairs nicely with a lot of other disciplines. So it's fun to get creative and run some classes that overlap with disciplines and special topics courses, things that you would maybe not necessarily pair together, like law and psychology or law and economics, courses that typically would be housed just in a psychology class or just in a law class. And we have the ability with the Interdisciplinary Institute to kind of cross some boundaries and have some fun with some of those topics. So those are a lot of the elective options that students have within the major or minor. Now to touch a little on the 3+3 program, because this is really exciting for someone who is planning on going to law school. If you are pretty sure that that's your path and you're a strong student and you're gung-ho about attending law school, then the 3+3 might be a really nice option. What it does is it allows you to apply to law school after you complete your 3rd year at Thomas More. So instead of, traditionally it takes about 4 years to complete your undergraduate degree if you come in and take 15 credits each semester to earn the 120 that's required to earn a college degree. Well, what's neat about this 3+3 program, law school's 3 years and undergrad's typically 4 years. Well, what we let you do if you meet all the requirements of the program is your last year, what would have been your 4th year at Thomas More, you apply to law school after your junior year. So your last year at Thomas More, if you get accepted, you can be admitted to one of 2 law schools in the area and attend there for 3 years. So what this essentially does is double count your last year of law school, or your last year at Thomas More for your 1st year of law school. So instead of getting an undergraduate degree and a law degree in a total of 7 years, you can accomplish that in 6 years. Saves you a year of time and tuition, which is really awesome. Now, the 2 local schools that we currently have this with are Northern Kentucky University Salmon P. Chase College of Law and then University of Cincinnati's College of Law. So students go through the typical admissions standards otherwise. You have to take the LSAT, have a high GPA, write your personal statement, letters of recommendation, and the law schools waive that requirement of earning a bachelor's but as long as you meet all the other standards, they consider you, and if accepted, then you successfully complete your first year of law school. They let me know that back at Thomas More, and then I tell the registrar at Thomas More, hey, they earned 24 more credits at the law school, that we are double counting as their senior year requirements of the law major at Thomas More. And at that point in time, you've essentially now earned your bachelor's degree. I can always talk more with you about that, but that's just a brief overview. So what else? I think from an advising perspective, I just wanted to point out that you'd have me to help you through that. And I not only help you with what classes you need to take, and if you are doing the 3+3, how to stay on track with that, or perhaps you start 3+3 and then your LSAT score is not super high, or your GPA needs work, or you say, you know what, never mind, I want my 4th year of my sport. We can always switch you back to the full major, and then just your senior year, you complete those classes. So we just add that, instead of those 24 credits at the law school, you'd be taking 24 to 30 back on Thomas More's campus normally. And then you apply to law school from there. So you can always just go like normal after you've earned your bachelor's in hopefully the 4 years at Thomas More. I think there's a lot of really awesome benefits to this major or minor. I'm gonna have classes that I'm working with you on. You'll be required to take classes where I'm working with you on law school applications, writing your personal statements that you'll need to apply to law school. We visit the law schools and sit in on classes. We also bring admissions counselors from Chase and UC to come talk to our students at Thomas More about LSAT prep, admission standards, writing your personal statement, things along those lines. So there are a lot of resources to be gained by being a major or minor in the law program. A couple tips on how to interact with your professors at Thomas More to get the most out of your education would be to utilize us as a resource, right? So come to us, come to my office hours, send me emails. During all of this coronavirus stuff, I'm chatting on the phone with students through FaceTime or Zoom or just on my cell phone regularly. And they have questions about how's this gonna affect my law school timeline, and when can I take the LSAT, and how's that gonna work? So we're here as a resource. So I would just encourage you to talk to us. We're here to help you find the best major for you. We're here to help you find what future career you will enjoy and excel at. So if you're considering a major, go talk to that department chair. Go talk to a professor in that and say, what are some career options? What are, the graduate school requirements? If you're part of the way into a major and you decide to switch or add a minor or pick up a double major, those are all things that we're here to advise you on. And if we personally are not experts on that field, we know our colleagues who are, and we can point you in the right direction. Speaking of potential careers with the law major, obviously going on to law school is an option, right? And we're gonna help prepare you to do so. I sat down with a lot of people who first had this program going before I was hired. And then when I was hired, we did some more research with attorneys, people I went to law school with, our current university counsel, people who are non-lawyers. And we were asking questions to ourselves saying, which courses, if I were to go back to college now, which courses would be most valuable in preparing me for law school or helping me think critically? And some of the courses that came to mind were logic, upper level English classes that were writing intensive, being a good reader and reading for comprehension. So yes, there are law courses most certainly worked into this major, but we've also thought about things that are skills that you're gonna need to help succeed, not just in law school, but in the legal field. So that's certainly an option, and we're helping prepare you there. But the other options, if law school's not for you, don't be discouraged from this major. My sister works for Target and for a while worked in their human resources. She was constantly dealing with hiring and firing and leaves of absence and a lot of legal things and understanding and application of policy. So a major like this would be nice for foundational information for a human resources job, a job in the government, a job in politics, a job working for perhaps the DMV or courthouses. There are so many jobs out there. Now, at Thomas More, I want to point out, we also have a major in criminal justice and political science. And those are also really good options for careers in the legal field that don't require going to law school. I work closely with those other professors to make sure that we offer electives that are conducive to all of the majors across those 3 categories. And it's really fun and creative, and often students are pairing the majors with the minors in those fields as well. So I just wanted to give you guys a rundown and introduce myself to what the law major entails at Thomas More. It is a fairly unique major. You don't see it often at other institutions as an option for a major. So I think it's something that we are at the forefront of at Thomas More. And being at a liberal arts institution and having this interdisciplinary institute allows us to really make the most of it. So I also have some information that is going to be posted to these advising sites with checklists about the classes that would be required of the major, the minor, or the 3+3 programs. So I'm going to put those up, as well as our major's mission and purpose. And so all of those are other resources that you can access. However, if you ever just want to pick up the phone and chat with me, or send me an email to arrange a time to talk or ask a question via email, I'm happy to sit down and discuss further. Again, my name is Amanda Siegrist. For the spelling of my last name, it's S like Sam, IEGRIST. Amanda Siegrist. People ask all the time if I'm related to Ryan Seacrest. Totally different last name, but I wish, right? So I think he'd be a good uncle to have. Anyways, I'm here to help as a resource. I hope that you are interested in Thomas More and the law program, because I'd be really excited to have you. And it's really right now a booming, growing major. We do some really fun things with, we have a student organization where they're going to be hosting mock trials, put on a lawyer's lunch every year. We have awesome guest speakers and opportunities, like I mentioned, to get out to the local law schools and visit. There's so many neat things. You'll complete an internship if you do the full 4-year major. And there are also study abroad options to count as electives. I took a class to London and Dublin last winter break, and we did a comparative law course looking at the laws and government structures of England and Ireland compared to America. And it was a really nice global perspective and international law perspective for students that study in this field. So anyways, I hope to hear from you, and best of luck as you pursue your college aspirations. I know it can feel overwhelming, but again, as I suggested before, use your professors as resources. Even if you're not a Thomas More student yet, that's okay. Use this as a resource. That's what we're here for. Reach out if you want to hear more about any of our majors. We are here to provide it, and we're happy to do so. Okay? Great talking to you. Best of luck.